Many people have played golf, but only a few have truly made their mark on the game. Doug Tewell was one of those rare players, a legend that everyone agrees on. His unique style set him apart, not just as a skilled golfer, but as someone who brought something special to the sport. He didn't just win tournaments, he won the hearts of fans who admired his talent, dedication, and the way he carried himself on and off the course. Tewell's journey wasn't all about success on the course. He also faced a significant challenge in his career, a chronic injury to his left elbow. By the time he was 46 years old, this injury had taken a serious toll on his game, and it became clear that it was something he couldn't just push through. Even though he was still in the prime of his career and had the potential to compete at the highest level, the pain and discomfort in his elbow forced him to make a tough decision. He had to step away from the PGA Tour. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was one that allowed him to give his body time to heal and recover. Years passed, and in 2005, Tewell underwent arthroscopic surgery to address the damage in his elbow. The procedure, which was relatively less invasive, was necessary to remove the scar tissue that had built up over time. It wasn't a major surgery, but it was a sign of just how serious the issue had become. After the surgery, Tewell had to go through a recovery process, and while it gave him some relief, the effects of that chronic injury still lingered. Even though the surgery helped, it didn't completely take away the problems he faced. The pain and limitations caused by the injury followed him for years and shaped the later part of his career, both on the PGA Tour and the Champions Tour. After the surgery, Tewell tried to continue playing at a high level, but his injury was always there, like a shadow over his game. It made everything harder, swinging the club, staying consistent, and competing against younger, healthier players on both tours. The impact of the injury didn't just affect his physical game, it mentally challenged him as well. It was something he couldn't ignore, and no matter how much he worked through it, the injury altered the course of his career in ways that were out of his control. Even before the injury took its toll, Tewell's career wasn't exactly typical. In fact, he didn't even make it to the PGA Tour until he was 26 years old. In the world of professional golf, that's considered somewhat late. Most players start making a name for themselves in their early 20s, which gives them more time to develop their game and establish themselves on the tour. So by the time Tewell began his career, many of his peers had already been playing at the highest level for years. However, despite this late start, Tewell didn't let that hold him back. Instead, he worked relentlessly, showcasing the determination and persistence needed to succeed in golf. His story is a testament to the idea that while there's no one set timeline for success in golf, really in anything, if you're willing to put in the work, talent and opportunity can shine through no matter when you get started. Tewell's game was built around one key strength that set him apart from many others on the tour: accuracy off the tee. Now, many people who follow golf or play the game themselves know that hitting the ball long and far is often praised, but Tewell didn't focus on distance. He wasn't necessarily the longest hitter out there, but what he lacked in power, he made up for with pinpoint precision. He became known for his ability to find the fairway time and time again, something that not only made him stand out, but also allowed him to consistently perform at a high level. His approach wasn't about overpowering the course with sheer length. It was about maintaining control and being methodical in his shot making. This exceptional accuracy off the tee became one of the defining aspects of his career. And the numbers don't lie. He ranked among the top players in driving accuracy year after year, which is no small feat in a sport like golf, where precision can make all the difference. In fact, he achieved something remarkable by leading the entire PGA Tour in driving accuracy in both 1992 and 1993. That's not just a statistic. It speaks volumes about how dialed in his game was. It's also a reminder that while some players might be known for their power, others like Tewell proved that control and precision are just as valuable, if not more, when it comes to consistently playing at a high level. Tewell's ability to keep his shot straight and find the fairway meant that he wasn't just hitting the ball with accuracy, he was positioning himself in the best spots to make scoring easier. This consistency made him a force to be reckoned with on the PGA Tour. Over the years, he went on to win 4 times, a solid number for anyone competing on the tour. Winning on the PGA Tour is no easy feat, and for Tewell, it demonstrated that his skill set was capable of competing with the best of the best, even though he didn't follow the traditional path that many of his peers had. Tewell's story began in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he was born and spent his early years. However, it wasn't long before his family made the move to Stillwater, Oklahoma, which is where he would grow up and really start to discover his love for sports and competition. Like many kids, Tewell was involved in a variety of activities, but it was through his work as a caddy for his father that he was first introduced to the game of golf. As he carried his father's clubs around the course, he began to see just how much skill and focus was required to play the game at a high level, and something about it caught his attention. Little did he know at that time, this experience would set him on a path that would eventually lead him to become a professional golfer. As he grew older, Tewell's talents in sports started to shine, and he was offered a basketball scholarship to attend Oklahoma State University. It was his freshman year, and basketball seemed like the natural fit at the time. However, as the months passed, his focus began to shift. While basketball was a sport he enjoyed, he couldn't ignore the growing interest he had in golf. And as he spent more time on the golf course, he realized that golf was where his true passion lay. So after much consideration, he made the bold decision to switch sports and focus on golf full-time. He went on to graduate in 1971, completing his college education while also honing his golf skills. His time at Oklahoma State, where he was surrounded by talented coaches and other athletes, played a huge role in shaping his future in golf. After finishing college in 1971, Tewell made the life-changing decision to turn professional and pursue a career in golf. It was a big leap, and at that point, he was stepping into a world that demanded immense dedication, skill, and mental toughness. But Tewell was determined, and he quickly set his sights on making a name for himself on the PGA Tour. He didn't waste much time, and by 1975, he officially joined the PGA Tour, ready to take on the challenges that come with competing at the highest level of the sport. Tewell's early years on the PGA Tour were filled with the highs and lows that come with trying to establish yourself in such a competitive field. However, things began to click for him, and in 1980, he had the best year of his career on the PGA Tour. That season, he captured two significant victories, the Sea Pines Heritage and the IVB Golf Classic. But while those wins were special, they were far from the only highlights of his career. Throughout the 1980s, Tewell remained a consistent presence on the PGA Tour. He picked up two more victories in the mid-1980s, continuing to demonstrate that he was a force to be reckoned with. His best finishes in major tournaments came at the 1983 and 1986 PGA Championships, where he managed to finish tied 9th and tied 10th, respectively. These finishes were strong performances in some of the biggest tournaments in golf, proving that Tewell was more than capable of hanging with the best of the best, even if a major victory eluded him. Even though he faced physical setbacks, Tewell's story didn't end there. In fact, one of the biggest moments of his career came after his time on the PGA Tour. He made the transition to the Champions Tour, which is where golfers age 50 and older compete. And this move proved to be a smart one. His first big victory on the Champions Tour was the Senior PGA Championship, held at the PGA National Resort and Spa in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. This win was monumental for Tewell. It wasn't just a regular victory, it was his first major win on the Champions Tour, and he did it in dominating fashion. Tewell won by an impressive 7 shots, a margin that speaks to how well he played throughout the tournament. To make it even more special, the victory came against a strong field that included some of the game's biggest names such as Tom Kite and Hale Irwin. The win at the Senior PGA Championship was a crowning moment in his career, one that he could look back on with pride for the rest of his life. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update on our future content. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Take care.